You want to see someone asked the most simple question with a pretty go-to response just right there sitting on a silver platter for you and then botch it badly? That's what I have for you. Here's Trump getting asked, why do you feel it's important, because he went to Pope Francis's funeral, why do you feel it important to travel to Pope Francis's future? To which he responds, the Catholics love me.
Why did you feel it was important to go to the Pope's funeral?
I just thought it was out of respect. You know, I won the Catholic vote, and I think it's the first time that ever happened where a Republican won the vote, and I won it by a lot. And, I have a great relationship to the Catholics. Very simple. What do you think of it? But I won the Catholic vote. We got 56% of the vote. I don't know why we didn't get more, actually. I don't know how they got any. But we did well with the Catholic vote, and my relationship is very good. So therefore, I think it's appropriate.
Really? Not. You know what? Sometimes I think we criticize, but we don't teach. So let's teach. Jaden asked me the same question. Why was it important to go to Pope Francis' funeral?
Why was it important to go to the funeral of President Trump?
Thank you for asking that, Jaden. I respect what the press does so much. I respect you. I would never call you criminals. I would never threaten to put you in jail. I would never try to take you off of the air. I would never get my FCC to block mergers to threaten you into settling with me. I respect the media. Pope Francis was an icon. The way that he exhibited Christ-like principles for the world to see, he led the Catholic Church with dignity, integrity, and really inspired a lot of people. And so I wanted to pay respects to that legacy at this funeral. See? And I'm saying, okay, it just, he can only think about the world from his own perspective. He can only think, I'm going here, which he admits. Don't admit this. You're going there, so there's a photo of you there, so that Catholics will go, I love Trump. That's what he says. He could only eke out, I thought it was out of respect, and you're thinking, all right, yeah, cool. Yeah, out of respect for Pope Francis, right? No. Out of respect for the fact that a lot of Catholics voted for me. Oh my goodness. Another easy question. Hey, can you commit that no one on your financial team was giving any kind of tips to Wall Street executives about deals? Because there's concern around insider trading. And Trump says, no, I can't commit to that.
Millions of dollars in debt. That's not sustainable.
Mr. President, can you commit that nobody on your financial team was giving any type of tips to Wall Street executives about deals with India? There was some reporting yesterday that people had heads up on Wall Street, possibly to make money. Can you commit that did not happen?
I can commit to myself. That's all I can commit. I have thousands of people that work for me, but I can't imagine anybody doing that.
If they did?
I have very honorable people that I can say, so I can't even imagine it. But no, I haven't even heard that, actually.
I can only... No, the buck stops with you. And you should not be facilitating an environment where people think it's appropriate, or they're trying, or it's a culture that they would be tipping off people to big decisions you're about to make. But there's a very good reason to believe that you could, especially with the corrupt past, sort of the character of the Trump White House, the corrupt nature of it, you could imagine that whether it be Trump or people around him are telling their buddies in advance of big announcements like we're rescinding a bunch of the tariffs, when people know that if they made certain trade decisions, they can make a whole heck of a lot of money. Then back to this. Well, first, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate the show and sort of the way I deliver often irritating news to all of you. But here he gets asked, and it's indicative of this thing we keep coming back to, which is that he doesn't seem to know things and stuff and news and events. He doesn't know stuff. And that's a really concerning thing for the president. And here he gets asked about the Russian general that was killed in a car bombing and goes, Mom, you're the first telling me about this. What? This was like a huge event in the war. What are you talking about?
The last literally 50 years.
Mr. President, there was a car bomb in Moscow this morning that killed a Russian general. Do you have any reaction to that and the impact?
Killed what? Russian general. No, I just heard you just tell me that for the first time. Where did this take place?
It took place in Moscow. It was a Russian general.
That's pretty close to home, right? That's a big one. Yeah, I'll look at it.
That was a bad bomb, as he said in the past. That was a big one. That was a big one. I don't like this. It's sort of like whenever the MAGA response to the Signalgate controversy was, look, we got to see their text messages, and when they're talking about classified war plans, they're like really cool. They use fire emojis. Like, that's really cool to be able to kind of get insight into our leaders. They're so good. And then, to which we responded, no, we didn't. We're not supposed to see that stuff. You might think it's cool, but we're not supposed to see that stuff, because then think about who else could see that stuff. Same thing here. There's a certain grim fascination to watching the U.S. president find out about something that he should have been briefed on, which is this general being killed in a car bombing, and watching his real-time reaction of, oh, what? Oh, where was it? Was it in Moscow? Oh, damn. That's like really, that was a big one, huh? Well, is there any more details? Oh, fun. Interesting. Oh, my God. Please know. Please know this stuff. It does remind me tragically of the fallen soldiers example when he was asked well after U.S. soldiers had gone missing in Lithuania. And he had the same, oh, you're telling me about this now. Then, on China negotiations, he says, I don't want to talk about that.
You said that you've spoken to President Xi multiple times. Is that since taking office, sir?
I don't want to discuss that, but I'm speaking to a lot of people from China, but I'm speaking to people from all over the world on the tariffs, and we're making very good deals. Very good. It's going to make our country rich. We're not going to be ripped off like we have been.
All of you are getting, I know, I feel it too. Just the merry-go-round and repetitiveness. Whenever he gets asked about China and he says, I'm talking to everyone, to which they go, no, you're not, and you're not talking to us. And then he says, well, maybe you should call first. And they go, maybe you should call first. You go, you first. No, you first. As all of us are suffering. So I don't know what these pressers are for if he's not going to know about anything or reveal anything new. Why? I've told you on principle, like a fair criticism of Biden was he didn't really make himself that available to the press. Critique. Bad. Should have done more. Whoa, Luke, I thought you supported me. Listen, folks, Luke's a backstabbing bastard. No, he did a lot of good stuff. And then that was bad. Now you kind of understand why. There's a little bit of gaffy waffies when he would, but at least when he would, it seemed like he kind of wanted to give us new information. It wasn't just what Trump does, which is, oh, you brought up tariffs. I'm going to give you nothing new except for saying we're getting ripped off and we're going to get rich again. Yeah, we've heard it so many times before. Oh, Russia? Well, I want peace. Okay, but you're not doing anything effectively to get it. So why are you even here? Go back and, I don't know, work on your makeup routine. Then he gets asked about the Signalgate controversy about Hegseth and says,
They just left the meeting. I haven't been briefed yet, but I hear a pretty good meeting.
Mr. President, any update on Secretary Hegseth, your confidence in him?
About what?
With having Signal on his
I don't view Signal
on his work computer. What do you think?
I don't view Signal as important. I think it's fake news, really. I don't view it as important.
You said you were going to be meeting with some leaders while you were in Rome attending the Pope's funeral.
I'm going to be meeting with some people in Rome, yes.
Who were you meeting with?
And a little bit quickly, and frankly, it's a little disrespectful to have meetings when you're at the funeral of the Pope.
Are you going to be meeting
They say.
with
But I'll be talking to people. I'll be seeing a lot of people.
wait, why did he say it's disrespectful to have meetings with people at the Pope's funeral and then went on to have meetings with people at the Pope's funeral? But he's standing by as of now, Pete Hegseth, and he tells us that it's not important, but it's fake news. Okay, so figure that out. It's not important, and he knows what we're referring to, and it's fake. So it didn't happen, and it is not important that it did happen. So 3 minus 1. Okay. Got it. Share your thoughts in the comments.